almost put money on him not stopping there, the speed he was approaching. You know what? I am saving that file because this is part of the problem. You're approaching the roundabout there, you're turning, and you see cars, vehicles coming towards you at a speed where you think there is no way he's going to stop. And then they do, and they don't even have to make an emergency stop, like that bin truck didn't have to do an emergency stop there. But you get other people approaching at the same speed and they have no intention of stopping. And that's what it makes it bloody difficult there. Tricky. Because they were doing comedy at the same time, yes. And they said like, oh yeah, we spent all our time.
It's an old car,
it is
Ford
nice,
Cortina. Sorry, yes, you were saying.
That's a Triumph, it's not a Ford Cortina. It's a Triumph of some kind. I'm sure it is.
I'm going to have to Google it. I think it.
Fleeper will tell us.
I may choose this hill to die on.
Fleeper will tell us what that is.
It's ticked on, and the company, having realised that silence was no longer politic, began to exclaim in their violent efforts to get free. It was when the struggle seemed to have gone on for hours that the miracle occurred. Well, said Aunt Hat's cheerful voice, attacked in the home for the second time in 1 week, and they call this a quiet country. I certainly feel better for that gag out of my mouth. Now, just unfasten my hands and feet. Now, I'll give you a hand with the others. The indomitable lady set to work on the task of loosening the others with remarkable energy,
Anytime today.
considering the cramped position.
It's got webbed feet, been weak and whatever, and they're all married to the cousins, but nice. What was it?
See the vintage.
Was it a bike?
No. It's obviously
Captain Witham,
it's an Audi,
as capable, if less colourful,
who is
as his superior
turning
officer.
right whilst indicating left.
They trooped back to the drawing room. We both know the county commissioner pretty well. Tenterton's an understanding old boy. I feel like putting the whole thing.
Oh, there we go. He's found the right indicator.
A mess to clear up, and that will fall to his to I've forgotten him. They listened appalled while he sketched a brief account of their terrible experience that afternoon. Mr. Campion was silent after the recital, but when Wivenhoe went out to dispatch a note.
Now I could whip up the inside there quite easily, but that would make me the cock of the day, and I'm not doing that. So see.
There was a second envelope marked Giles, a folded paper for Biddy, and something.
Oh, quality bit of parking there. It's not like there's a gap right next to you.
Biddy glanced at her message. It's just come. He handed the square white envelope to the judge, a smirk on his face. The judge felt in his pocket, having come to the conclusion, in common with so many other visitors to Europe, that the safe rule is, when in doubt, tip. Mr. Kettle refused the coin magnificently. Oh no, sir. Only too happy to do anything for you. Any time.
See, I was just going for the. He's doing the right thing there by reversing off the pedestrian crossing.
Suicide during temporary insanity. About 10 minutes.
And he's done a U-turn at the lights, slightly dodgy, and now he's parking almost entirely on the pavement.
Giles went over to him, and together they bent.
Oh my God, a BMW that went round the roundabout. Fucking Christmas miracle. Oh, that was a fail.
Yeah, well.
Way to the right. Dickhead in the Gemini.
Ah.
Should do now.
Yep. That's the second one using an indicator I've seen today.
I know. But now he's driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yes, that's simple.
That's oncoming traffic.
Yes. Yes, he completely. Yes, he can.
She was not to go into the village, and no one was to know that they were not all still in the house. Campion packed Giles, Marlowe and Mr. Mapp into the back of Mr. Barber's car. The police won't stop an outgoing car on the Stroud. Mr. Barber, we shall be eternally grateful to you. They drove on in silence. By tacit consent, no word was spoken of Biddy's adventure. Campion seemed to wish to keep the matter to themselves.
Taking across
It was 1 o'clock when they reached the dark entrance beside the police
pedestrian
station.
crossing. Definitely not allowed.
Her head resting on the boards, her arms hanging limply at her sides. Good God, they've got her too, Giles
Well, that was,
ejaculated. Comfort me with chloroform, said Campion cryptically. Regarded him with astonishment, but he seemed to be perfectly serious. She pointed to a patch of sunlight on the far end of the path. That's the entrance to Pharisee's clearing.
You just roll your way
means
through.
fair. Campion nodded. Be careful when you talk about fairies.
Fucking knob end, you.
Disrespect.
Know where the stop line is?
Clearing was a tiny valley.
Alexander Armstrong on Classic FM.
Oh, that's clever. Dickhead there just went across 2 solid white lines. Rather than... Oh, that was a dick move.
How do you feel about that, Val? You stay up here with the suitcase, with a small police force, while I go down to Sanctuary and make an effort to get a line on the days. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I hope this won't have to come out. It's a crime here to have any relatives who aren't actually in the services or the varsity, much less an unshaven object in a shiny suit who parades the town in the company of a tramp.
Dickhead.
Campion sat
Why
up,
are you
a
driving
glimmer of
into
interest
the...
behind his spectacles. Uncle William's description of his disreputable cousin had recalled a half-forgotten
There's a
impression of his
reason
memory.
boxes there.
Mr. Faraday, would you say that this cousin of yours drinks heavily? After her in her life, and if there was any kind of offensive muckraking to be done, she did it.
What are you doing, knobhead?
Kitty said, shaking with wrath. At least she never got secretly.
Why are you
Uncle William stood
just...
and stepped forward.
And here we are, we've got
His
a
hands smacked it hard.
ninja suicyclist, dressed entirely in black, no lights on.
Marcus advanced to him.
Another idiot relying on everyone else to keep him safe.
At the psychological moment when the noise was at its height.
Gonna beat a good chunk.
Yeah, don't worry about, not giving way or anything like that, giving way to the right and all that. What? With class and with style.
No.
So you can ignore the red, he's gonna go through the red.
Straight through.
Strangely enough, so.
Get out of
Disappearance. Great Aunt Caroline hesitated, then shrugged. I was afraid this would have to come out.
Walking on the zigzags.
George Faraday
Not
was
bad.
in this house the night before Andrew disappeared. I also... Cousin George. Didn't you notice how extraordinarily like William he was?
Illegal motorbike, illegal electric motorbike there.
Girl verified this distressing phenomenon. He found himself standing outside a church with a glass in his hand.
Look at this knob end.
Amnesia is a form of paralysis.
Which side's of road
The
are you
mind
supposed to be
rejects
using,
memory
you
because memory is
stupid cow?
unpleasant. Cat-like face and scared, red-rimmed eyes. The obvious explanation occurred to him, but he felt no personal animosity towards any impecunious hotel guest who must resort to undignified methods of departure. Moreover, he was hungry. So he turned the Lagonda into the palm-lined street which ran round the bay, and drove through the ornate iron gates to the hotel entrance.
Seems to be an array of fuckery
The
happening down
Oxford
there,
and the
so
Shires
I
had
think we will
produced
go
in Guffey Roundel at the age of
around it.
a perfect specimen of the younger diehard. He was amiable, well-mannered, snobbish, and, in spite of his faults,
Jim, do you
Oh,
remember?
spot the cock.
Quick, put your thing on. Jim has this thing on YouTube called Cock of the Day, Ben.
I would put the facts before you. The young men stood looking at him with polite astonishment in their eyes. My dear young people, you must get away from here as you possibly can. Chill of alarm down Hal's spine. Look here. When did this happen? Although the Malplaquet drum remained where Hal had left it, the bracing cords had been slashed through. They came out of the mill onto the wooden way which skirted the dynamo wheel and led onto the top of the mill floodgates. The river flowed under the broken gangway, which was so badly in need of repair that for safety's sake, Amanda had placed a couple of hurdles across the path. They passed the dynamo shed when she heard Savanac coming out again and sank back into the
Sure,
shadows.
maintain your speed.
The storm had cleared, and the sky was bright with stars, so that she could see he carried an iron box. The explanation dawned upon her, and her courage returned, as she realized that here was something definite to be done. Savanac sat putting on his boots, the iron box at his side. Amanda picked up a loose
And the Jaguar driver's no better because he's not using his
struck a tree on the opposite bank, and the sharp sound, followed by a plop as it ricocheted into the water, brought the man to his feet, straining his eyes to see the further bank. Amanda darted forward, snatched the box, and fled down the gangway to the mill. She heard his startled exclamation, and the next instant, a bullet tore the shoulder of her dress. She gained the mill.
You're a driver.
The bolt was stiff, and as she bent over to force it home, there was a roar, a shriek of splintering wood, and a sharp pain stabbed her in the chest. The box dropped to the stone with a clatter, and strange giddiness.
Really?
She dropped to her knees. Her mouth felt full of blood, and a numbness was spreading over her. Hello? I say, you hurt? An exclamation escaped him, and he set her down gently against the
It is the
Savanac had ceased shooting.
you
and appeared
right,
to be
you're on
putting his shoulder to
the
the
far
door.
right lane.
Campion advanced,
You're going back
cautiously,
onto the fire
keeping
lane.
out of the line of fire, but before he
Shit.
above the rumble of the wheel.
Anybody learning to drive,
Foolhardy.
being taught by that dick. Clever. Park on the corner of on the junction. Leave your door open.
It's my
That's
wife.
a special
Mr.
place of
said
parking there, that is. In the
Sure,
entrance
speed
of a
too
one-way
much, isn't it?
street.
You better get
That's
it to
some
bed,
quality place
said the
of
inspector
parking, that
casually.
is.
Can you manage? Oh yes. Mr. Potter was already motioning them towards them. But what for? What's she got in her mind that she can't bear to think about? The man from the Foreign Office had a conversation with his department. The Home Secretary took action.
Oh, okay.
And the press
There's
became
some
oddly uninterested in the
very
affair at Little Venice.
dodgy
A
driving
discreet
going on
inquest
there.
was followed by a quiet funeral.
Why are you creeping?
You're listening to Classic FM.
Right, now over the second stop line now. For no reason, still got a red light. Now on the pedestrian crossing. Come on, wake up! Now. Creep and creep and creep until they're on the pedestrian crossing. And then when the lights actually go green, don't do anything. Shit driving.
32 Beverley Gardens, Kensington W8. I had a look as I come past. 3 floors and a basement. Easiest entrance by the roof. I got it all taped for you just in case.
You
The other
cockhead.
funded a grubby sheet of paper. The other 2 bent over it.
This is the
This
rear
here,
camera.
he said, tapping his
About to race past us.
forefinger, gives you the old plan of the roofs. This house, where I hang out, backs almost directly onto Beverley Gardens.
Oh, that's some real shit driving. Crap driving. And he's waving his hand at me like I'm the one doing something stupid.
Good idea, sir. The 3 cord were tied to a hitching ring on the flat roof of the Scholastery's main building. A small crowd of
Oh, that
mostly
was
young
a
scholars
bad
and servants
idea.
had gathered to gape at the great air beasts, which had settled on their haunches on the
Hell,
and were
man.
munching on whatever was in their nose bags, giving every impression of ignoring
Why
the
would
crowd
you
around
tell
them with a
your-
degree of disdain?
Your
A
student
warm, gusting wind
to go
ruffled
past
their
at
crests
that
and
point.
made the gaudy coverings under their
That's
saddles flap.
pitiful.
Burbin and Hulse
driving
hurried up the steps
instruction.
and crossed the roof.
That was the idea, sir, said Inspector Redgrave soberly. Marcus said huskily, "The murderer is dead." "George," said Uncle William triumphantly. "No," said Campion. "Andrew. Andrew died."
Dreams of a chocolate frog. What a knob.
Great Aunt Faraday sat in her enormous bed,